and we didn't get to check out that final piece of thing. The dead man's switch. Your plane hits the Sea-Tech tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped backseat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ grinders, a legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for Nguyen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam Watt's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. I'm in the back. The smell of death and decomposition wash over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Antiseptic, should I say. Is there stuff we can check out here? No. Let's just walk ahead. I like that you can, how the stuff appears on the map. The fog of war. That's the word I was looking for. Dresden. Hi. Are you part of the Dresden Dolls? Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, I love my job, a little more than you'd want or expect for someone in the chop shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with his lopsided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. Ouch. Sorry, didn't expect any visitor at this hour. Let me say that again. Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour. And some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, sir? Are you the coroner? I'm John Dresden, the organ grinders branch manager here. So yeah, that makes me this franchise's area's coroner too. And you are? Let's do this professionally. I represent a man named Sam Watts, and I'm here to look into his murder. That's what I'm going to say. He frowns. Interesting. A dead man makes for a strange client. But what makes you think he's here? Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here. I see. Well, you're right. He is here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it yet. What with it being all the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you it was dead? Wired. I find the killer, I get paid. When his heart stops, I got sent a recorder, I bring his killer to justice. I'm not going to talk to this dude about money, I guess. So let's talk about Digital Ghost. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He is over here. Where? Over here. Okay. Can I see stuff over here? No. He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown. The Ripper, huh? The classics never go out of style. He sighs. Not my title. That's what the Seattle Press insists. Seattle Press insists on calling the killer. All I know is that, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel. Sorry. But this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim. Trophy hunter. Let's be kind of funny about it. Trophy hunter, what was it? Watt's liver was cleanly cut out. What about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing and the third had the spleen removed.
Dresden, get out here. I'm here about the new Ripper Vic, Sam Watts.
Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet, his face in ashen white, for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there's a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him and took it. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found on his body. You can examine the evidence through the bag without spoiling it. Business card. You can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstresses Union. There's something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it illegible. Cred stick. It's a standard, cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. I'll leave it there. Purple shirt. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing and blood has thoroughly soaked it. The bag sloshes a bit in your hand. That's disgusting. Handwritten note. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and the blood stains. Sam, I feel terrible that we have been long. To say I'm sorry. See you there, love. Jessica. Put down the evidence bag. Pick stuff up. An item. Basic medkit. That's useful. Let's go and talk to McCluskey. Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of central casting. If you ignore the tusks, pointed ears and the Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap aftershave from a mile away.
So this new Ripper Vic, Watts, name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back?
The coroner frowns. So you insisted, at the time. He chortles.
Come on, she offed herself. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge.
I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed, with a slim hand that knows its way around a scalpel. Has a decent understanding of human and meta-human anatomy too. Anatomy? Anatomy. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Please correct me, people. So he has a decent understanding of human and meta-human anatomy too.
So, I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon?
Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado.
You're no damn help, dwarf.
The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You note his superhuman powers of observation.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the nobody new in town. Are you a detective on this case? I was hired by someone to assist you in finding his killer. Am I going to do this or am I not going to do this? I am not strong, so I'm not going to do this. Are you a detective? Here we go.
The dreck you were. You get anywhere near my investigation and it will be you on the slab, dwarf.
He looks back at the dwarf.
Dresden, get me more. I am putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion.
I suspect this guy will be bad news. Let's... Oh, this is the examination stuff. Let's talk to this guy. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? Well, he didn't really seem like my type. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. You're really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was there when I needed him. I'm going to return the favor. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 million a week in his paycheck. Plus, he's on the take. You have honor after fashion. I try to honor the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help you?